Hi there, my name is Jeremy Brown. Today we're going to show you about the jump, the jack up mega pole. Show you the parts, details, how to set it up, and how to crank it up and crank it down, and that way hopefully maybe this will explain it a little bit better for you. Okay, here we will see the different parts of the jump pole, or the jump. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over some of the parts of the jump for you. As you can see here, we got everything laid out. Closest to the left is the 1 inch, 1.5 inch, and then 2-inch pipes that are needed. Then we got an assortment of parts and pieces. We'll go over each one of these individually. As you can see on the 1 inch, you can see where the holes are for the 2 pins as you're jacking it up, both in the 1 inch and the 1.5 inch pipe. And at the end of the 1.5 inch pipe, you will see where there's the reducer from 1.5 to the 1/4 inch pipe. The 2 inch has no holes, it's just a solid piece of pipe that is threaded on one end. All 3 of these pipes are only threaded on the one end. That's all you will need. Over here is where the parts and different other pieces are. As we're looking at these different parts and pieces, I also have on my website the exact links of different pipes that you will need to be threaded. That way when you're at Home Depot or whatever, you can have them go ahead and cut these pieces off and thread both ends. It'll save you a trip that way. Okay, here we go. We got the jack. You can get that there at Harbor Freight. And then the post that goes underneath it. I use a 4x4. You can also use a pipe. There's different ways of doing this. Here's the different clamps and the pins. There's the tree topper. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start setting this pole up. Hopefully, and we'll do it slow, and I'll show you different tips that I did to be able to make this work. Okay, one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mark where my last pinhole is. That way you know as you're jacking it up that you do not want to go beyond this point, and that is the highest point of that individual pipe, whether it be the 1 inch or the 1.5 inches. So we'll go ahead and we'll mark those. Okay, now that we got these different parts marked, we're going to start actually assembling the pole together, so that way we can put it up on the base. Alrighty. What you're going to want to do is you get this 1 inch pipe. As mentioned on my website, you want to make sure that this coupling can fit inside of this coupling here. You need to be able to fit it inside the 1.5 inch pipe. Okay, now that we've got that in there, now we need to make sure that we put the clamp that has the 1.25 inch piece of pipe inside of it. That just slides on, and then this is your reducer bushing to be able to put your topper on. You just hand tighten that. Don't need to kill it. Okay. Now we will get our other clamp and put it on the end of the 1.5 inch pipe. that slides on like such. Then we get this whole assembly and then put it inside the 2-inch pipe. It starts to get to be a bear after a while. Okay, now our pole is assembled and it's ready to go up inside the base. Next I'll show you the base and how I've got that set up. Okay, now we are looking at the base. You can also find this on Walter and Jackie's website on how to build this. Sucker probably weighs almost 200 pounds. But the plan that they have on there is really easy. I ended up using 500 psi cement. Takes about 3 days to cure, and a week before it gets up to the 500 psi. So this is something that you'll definitely want to build in the summer. That way you can have it outside for a few days. Make sure it's not going to rain on it, but that way the sun can dry it out. And as you can see, the instructions are actually very easy to follow when it comes to this. I ended up using a bigger eye bolt because it was cheaper for me to buy them in a bulk than it was the smaller ones that they have. So always check around. You don't have to go exactly with the same thing. As you can see, I've got 8 rebar stakes. Each one of those go about 3 feet into the ground. And you can see that there's rope that's tied off to each one of the eye hooks. Pretty simple to set up. And the only change I did, as I will show you, as you can see, in the center is actually a 2-inch coupling and a piece of 2-inch pipe. What I need to do is drill a hole in the bottom of this because it rained and water went down the pipe and it froze into a solid block, so I couldn't get the pole all the way down. So that will be one change that I will do, is drill a hole in the bottom of that. Otherwise, this base is really easy to assemble. Now we're going to get the mega pole and put it up on there, and I'll show you how to raise it up. Okay, easy as that. All you got to do is thread it in, and you got all 3 pieces right there ready to go. Now we will get the hardware and be able to install the jack.